So I just want to jump in here real quick. I'm editing this video. I'm very greasy. It's been a very long day, but I just wanted to jump in here because this is my family's pie recipe. I think it's very similar to the one that's in an old Betty Crocker book. I'm gonna grab it. So this is the Betty Crocker book that my mom always had growing up. She also had one that was a cookie one, best cookie recipes. This will give you also a variety of different recipes. I'm pretty sure that where our pie recipe comes from is the pie recipe in here. So the thing is with my family's pie recipe is that it does include Crisco, which a lot of people don't like. There are different ways to make pie. This is just how we've always done it. It is a dessert. It is meant to be decadent. It's meant to be delicious. It's not cutting corners when it comes to flavor. But I do understand that for some people, they think that Crisco is disgusting. That's been said to me a couple of times, which kind of like hurts my feelings in a weird way, just because I literally don't know how to make pie any other way. It is what it is. This is just the way that we've always done it. I think this is the easiest way to do it. I know that the people that I have talked to who use real butter in their recipes for pie, it's a lot more extensive of a process and a lot more difficult. So maybe if you're starting out, you can start with Crisco, and then once you feel confident in that, you can move on to using a recipe that is a little bit better for you. Totally up to you. I always get nervous when I make pie. I've made it a lot the last couple of years, but I am the most confident making pie when my mom is here. And unfortunately with COVID, that just hasn't been a possibility. I'm still trying to perfect the ratios of Crisco to flour to water, trying to be really confident at making pie crust. You'll see the evolution of me failing and then recovering from that. It would be very easy to just throw away the pie crust, scrap this video, and call it a day when I was filming. I think with many things, the most important thing is just trying to recover as successfully as possible, which I think I did. The pie was delicious at the end of it. Now a very long intro, so I'm gonna wrap it up. But please keep watching if you would like to learn how to make pie the old-fashioned way using Crisco. It's my family's recipe and it just means a lot to me, so I hope you guys like it. Okay, rest of the video. So you're gonna want about 2 cups of flour. I didn't measure it out exactly because it doesn't really need to be exact. The butter flavor Crisco, and you're gonna use about 3/4 of this stick. And what you're gonna do is you are gonna slice it with a knife and then put it in the bowl with the flour and kind of break it up. You don't want it to be huge chunks of butter. Slice it like this and then just cut it like that in my hand. It makes it a little bit easier for the dough to incorporate together later. And you're gonna continue to do this until you get the 3/4 of the stick. You're just gonna continue to slice that Crisco up and add it to the flour. I'm making pie.
You make pie?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of pie you make?
Pumpkin pie.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
hell yeah. Wow, that sounds good.
I just realized we have everything.
Wow.
And I've been wanting to bake, so I was like,
Why not?
it's pretty easy to make too. All right, so after you've cut it up, it's going to look like this. You're going to, then you're gonna take the potato masher and you're just gonna start working that butter into the flour. That butter is gonna break up. It's not, I keep calling it butter, it's Crisco. It's very different than butter. But it's just gonna start breaking up into the pie. I think that looks good. I think I want just a little bit more Crisco. So I'm gonna add that and then work that in. So you're gonna work it until all of the Crisco that you've added is a little bit bigger than pea-sized. Make sure to get all of what's stuck in the potato masher out. So it should be looking like this now. So you have the pieces of Crisco that are mixed in and they're a little bit bigger than pea-sized. Then what you're gonna wanna do is have very, very cold water. And it needs to be really, really cold. It can't be room temperature. Add an ice cube or two to the water. I've never done this before, but I always thought it would help. So I'll just add some ice cubes. Clean hands at all times because your hands are going to be very much involved with making the crust. Alright, so we're going to add a little bit of that water at a time. Spoonful, sprinkle it around. You want the pie crust to be moist but not too moist, otherwise it's going to be too sticky. It's not going to hold when you start working it with the pie roller. Start working it. You're going to do motions like this just to get it incorporated. You can feel that the crust starts sticking together a little bit more. At this point, you're going to add some more water. So before, I think I added 3 spoonfuls of water, so I'm going to add 3 more. See where that gets me. You can see that it's really starting to clump together at this point. We've got a couple parts of it that's still a little dry, so I'm just going to add 1 more. Make sure that last bit of it gets worked in. Yeah. You're going to work it into a ball like this. A bigger size than what you think that you need is better because obviously you are going to be rolling it out. In between, I guess, a baseball and a softball size. So that's that. Alright, so then I have my dough ball. I'm going to move the bowl out of the way. Put a generous... I washed this earlier. Maybe I'm gonna wash it off again. I'm just gonna dry it off a little bit. Because this is clean. I did wash it earlier and nothing has been on it except for this bowl. Sprinkle a very generous amount of flour. And then you're gonna start working your pie crust. So this is the point that I always get a little bit nervous about because I'm always wondering if I've used enough water to get it to stick enough, but not too much so it's too sticky and not too less so that it doesn't spread out well. I floured my rolling pin. See, that immediately broke apart. Work it into a flatter shape. See how this goes. That's working better. So you just keep alternating directions. It's going to start cracking. That's just dependent on how much water you've added and how much Crisco to flour ratio. Going to kind of keep pushing it together. And in order to do that, I use a flat hand on the side to brace it. And then I use the other hand to push it into it. You see all those cracks are gone. So we're gonna keep doing that. I use very light pressure because you don't really need to go to town on it. We're getting cracking again. So what we're going to do is push it together again. If you have a really, really big crack that you're trying to fix, you can add water in order to get it to come back together. I might use that in a little bit, but I think I'm all right for now. Push this together. I think my dough could have used a little bit more water for this pie crust, but I think we are going to be okay. It's starting to stick to the rolling pin. Flour the surface, fix the cracks. You want it to spread out so that it is the right size. It has to go over the side of your plate or pie pan or whatever you want to call it. You can always take pieces of dough from the bowl and fix your cracks just by sticking it onto there and using a little bit of water to seal it. And you're gonna want to press that water in and like massage it, and you can feel it start coming together. Flour on it so it doesn't stick back to the pie roller. I'm just calling everything all sorts of names today. Okay, this is a pretty good size. Let's just make sure it is, and it looks like it is to me. Take it and fold it in half. And it ripped, but that's all right. We can fix that. It completely is ripping on the bottom though, but I think we can fix it. I did not put enough flour on the bottom. So word to the wise. Thought I had put a lot of flour, but apparently not. And now my pie crust has shredded. I'm gonna try putting it in the pan and then seeing if I can repair it. Hi guys, so editing me, I am looking at this footage and there are some glaring issues that I need to address with you. The first thing is that I do not use a pie cloth or a pastry cloth. So I have these. My mom gave me these. They're sitting in the cabinet. I forgot about them. Let me show you what they look like. Hello. I am doing the thing that other YouTubers do where they have slices of editing them.
Oh yeah.
Come into the video because there were some issues when I was filming this.
Some issues?
Yeah, it's kind of dumb on parts of it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. But anyways, this is a pie cloth. This goes in between the crust that you're rolling out with the flour underneath and the countertop. The reason why you use this is so that it's easier to transport the pie. That's okay.
I'm sorry. Maybe you'll have an edit interlude. My hands are filthy.
There was part of me filming this where I had to pause for you when you're opening a bag of chips. As I was like trying to narrate, you were standing opening a bag of chips. So on the audio, all you hear is we're going to. This is just like a shit show of a video, I swear to God. Oh my gosh, I got flour all over the table. Disaster. All right, so these are the pastry cloths that my mom gave me. They are just 100% cotton. I don't think, yeah, there's no other information on them. I can find out where my mom got these from and put it in the description box for you guys. But use these. It saves you so much hassle. It would have completely fixed the issue that I was having at the beginning of this video, so I wouldn't have had to roll, well, foreshadowing, I had to roll out the pie crust again. But anyways, use one of those. It'll make it so much easier, and you won't have the issues that I had. It's not the best. Let's see. I think I might need to re-roll this one. Yeah. We are going to do it again. Yeah, it's a disaster. You can't save this really, like even if you tried to patch it with other pieces of pie crust, is like you can patch some cracks. You can kind of like mush it together and fix it. Kind of like how I was showing you guys when we were rolling it out. This pie crust ripped in so many places that there's no way that you can save it. So I just had to start over while I'm filming a video about how to make pie. Not my finest moment. Oh well. Work it into a ball again. Lay it flat. So you're just gonna repeat the exact same steps that we did before. Distribute the flour because now I'm nervous that it's gonna stick again. That would be bad. This one is not as symmetrical as the other one, so I'm distributing my weight on the roller a little bit differently, because you can feel as you're going around the perimeter and fixing it, you can feel that parts of it, like this side is thicker than this side, and that's not what you want. You want a really even pie crust. So I'm going to start working more pressure this way. Anxiety heightening that it's gonna stick again. I think that is good enough for me. Carefully picking it up. See how much easier that went? Lifted right up that time. I'm feeling it, and this side still feels thicker. I'm gonna roll it out gently on that side. And then I will up again, a little bit more. Up gently, fold it over. We are going to put the crust in. You fold it over halfway and then pull it back this this way. Center it in the pie pan as best as you can. Form it to the sides. And for pumpkin pie, so what I usually do is I fold the edge and then I will go in and crimp it. There's a couple pieces that have more of the pie crust, so I'm just gonna cut a little bit of that excess off because we can use it to fill in the places that don't, like right here. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna tuck it in underneath. And you're just gonna continue to fold it over all the way around. Pull it under and over so that it's to the side of the pie plate. Put a little bit pie crust to fill in the spot. Take a little bit off. There's a big gap here, so we're going to want to fill that. So that is one, and we are going to wait until we do the filling to finish it. We have the rest of this that we need to fill our other pie pan with. I'm gonna add a little bit of water because it's been sitting here and it's dried out a little bit. So this one feels stickier than the other one. Do not be stingy with the flour like we learned the first time. Make it into a ball, flatten it, start working it slowly. Fix the sides with the two-hand method we talked about earlier. Sticking a little bit, add some flour. Pie pans that I want to do. Let's do that with this one. So you're doing the same thing as the other one, fitting it to the edges, and then we are going to pull over the sides. Okay. This one had that sparse side. I'm going to cut some of this to pull underneath of it. It's not the most beautiful pie I've ever made, but maybe I'll do some cute stuff on the top. Like maybe I'll do some leaves because I have a lot of extra pie crust. Maybe I'll do that. But we are done with that for now. Put the rest of the pie crust over here. 100% pure pumpkin is what I bought at the store. So just be careful when you do that baking section with all the canned goods, because unfortunately a lot of the times, camera's focusing on this so I'm gonna move it. A lot of the times they put the real pumpkin next to pumpkin pie filling, which you can buy, you can definitely buy, but from what I've heard, it's always best to buy the real pumpkin, and then I just do the directions that's on the back of the can, but there's so many recipes out there that you can do. So there's that, and then you're also gonna need evaporated milk, and that's because that's the recipe on here. Oh, it says shake well. But in that aisle too, there's evaporated milk and condensed milk, so make sure that you're grabbing the right thing for the recipe, because that's another thing that can catch people off guard. And then according to the directions, dry ingredients in small bowl, beat eggs in large bowl, stir in pumpkin and dry ingredient mixture, gradually stir. So let's do the dry ingredients. That is the ingredient list. Hello? Well, it's focusing now. Weird. Okay, 3/4 cup granulated sugar. It's a lot of sugar, but this is a dessert. I'm sure there's ways that you can make this using healthier alternatives. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon cinnamon. 1/4 teaspoon. And ginger we want 1/2 teaspoon. That's all the dry ingredients. It says to mix those together. Break apart those seasoning balls in there. There's that. Beat eggs in a large bowl. Good. I got a big pie and a little pie. You want to beat some eggs for me?
I suppose so.
Beat them. Perfecto. So the eggs were supposed to be beat in a large bowl. Add the pumpkin to the eggs. Oh my gosh, Bruce, do you smell the pumpkin? I'll give you a little bit of the extra later, okay? Stir in pumpkin. This is definitely something you can use your KitchenAid mixer for, but I just have my big industrial one out right now, so I don't really feel like using it. Add the dry ingredients and mix. Gradually stir in milk. Pumpkin pie mix. Oh, that's good. I might add a little bit more cinnamon. Maybe just a little bit more cloves. Just to make sure that it has good flavor. I like the canned recipe. I feel like there has been times where it's been kind of like a not a spicy pumpkin flavor, like a much milder pumpkin flavor, which is totally fine. I feel like there's been times that I wish that it had a little bit more to it. So let's try that. Oh yeah, that's better. So now that you have your filling, you're gonna fill your pie pans. Sometimes I just wish I had like one more arm. And once you have the pie filling in there, just level it out. Pumpkin pie sinks a little bit, just so you know. So I'm mentioning that pumpkin pie sinks just so you know to put a lot of filling in, more filling than you think. It is gonna sink down and you don't wanna end up not filling it enough and then having one of those like super skinny, really thin, sad pumpkin pies. So just make sure to put in just a little bit more than you anticipate needing because it is gonna shrink a little bit. Also keep in mind that when you put it into the oven, not all ovens, I would imagine a lot of ovens aren't level, so just keep that in mind. That's because I've definitely made pumpkin pie in our oven and then didn't like turn it while it was baking, and then it baked kind of lopsided. So that's the reason why I mentioned that. If you have a situation like that where you realize that your oven rack isn't level, then just rotate the pie like halfway through and then it should be fine. And you know, I was gonna crimp the sides, but I think I kind of like how simple it looks. Is that crazy? I feel like that's crazy, but I like it. I've never put anything on top of my pumpkin pies, and I kind of want to, like a leaf or something. I think that would be cute. Like if I cut a couple leaves out. Oh, this is cute as hell. I wonder if these leaves are going to sink into the pie at all. I hope not, because they're very cute. Oh my god, it is so cute. Alright, let's see how that goes. Maybe the other one will sleep playing. Does this need another leaf? Should I push them and put one more? So, am I going overboard? Is this gonna get ruined? I think that's done. So the recipe says preheated for 15 minutes. Let's do it. This is what they look like. This one is really cute. I've never done one like that before. And that's it for now. They look good so far. The camera's having a hard time focusing today. Hi, Bruce. Hi, sir. Hello. Did you like your pumpkin snack? Did you like your pumpkin snack? You guys, your schmutz in your eyes. And a $3.50. They're looking good.